Alright, so we haven't been out to ride in a few days because we've had wet and really cold. I have a whole bunch of compost that I need to put into the compost pile. So about a week's worth of compost. And I did show you guys how to put the compost together. Here's 1, 2, 3, and then we have food for the rabbits. And so I'm going to wait for the girls to get the halters on the horses, and then I'll go ahead and show you if the peas have sprouted at all and how the hotbed is holding up. I'm starting to get worried because it has, the last 2 times I checked it, it hadn't warmed up, which means that it's not big enough. And I might have too much carbon and I might need more water in it. Usually I get it started with some rabbit manure tea, and this time I did not do that. So there's our cute pony, and here comes our other cute pony. Supposedly this is the last week that they have temperatures that get below the 50s. That's my understanding at looking at traditionally what the what March looks like. So this last week of February should be our last really cold week. And it does not look like I have any sprouting, which is very unusual for one of my hotbeds. It could be, part of the problem could be that I have a cover on it that is not plastic, so it's not holding the heat in. The other thing could be that I don't have enough moisture in it, there's too much carbon. But these hold in, they don't really hold heat in, they just keep frost off. So if the bed itself is cold, the plants are going to be cold and they're not going to think it's time to germinate yet. So that's my assumption, because I don't see any steam, I don't smell any ammonia, which means I need more manure and less carbon. So what I'm going to do, what I've done every time I've had a bed that isn't taking off right, that has too much carbon in it, doesn't mean I have to redo the bed. All it means is I need to make some rabbit manure tea, which is to take a couple handfuls of rabbit manure and put it in 3 gallons of water and let it sit for a little bit, and then that's the water that I'm going to use to water the what, honey? As long as you have the right balance of carbon to greens and wets, then it doesn't get stinky. Now, I didn't show you how this lid comes on and off. So I designed this lid so that it would come up on and off easily, but that it wouldn't be taken off by random winds. It would have to be a really strong wind, and that animals couldn't get into it. So I'll show you how it goes up and down. These are the little snap caps that I use, and they're just made out of PVC, and this is exactly what they're meant to do. See, they're not dirty and smelly and slimy. So I'm going to take those, and I think I'm going to keep using the paper bags as my household compost containers, and I'm going to take these buckets and make them into compost tea, rabbit manure tea, and let them sit for a bit, and we'll put those on tomorrow. Now, since that is food waste, I don't want to be attracting creatures like coyotes and dogs to this spot. So I'm going to go get some more horse manure, and I'm going to spread it on top of the vegetable matter, because there's quite a bit of carbon in there, and that way it will cover the smell pretty well. Yeah, he's all clean. I'm pretty sure he went and like rolled really good in the grass or something, because I haven't seen him look so clean. And how long has it been since he looked this clean? There you go. So we make them sit and wait when they first get up and not go until they've counted for a bit, and it indicates to the pony that we don't ever just walk off. So you guys are gonna go explore the pasture together for a minute, and I am going to go and walk up with them and get rabbit manure. Handy dandy little scoop here, scooping up my rabbit manure, and that will make a lot of tea. It's way more than I need, and I'm so grateful to have it. So little Mr. Bun Buns looks pretty good. They didn't charge me much to clip his feet, and I didn't want him to have a bath because you're not supposed to bath bunnies. And so his feet look really good. And we'll see if he likes the hay bed. We'll see if he likes the hay bed as much. What do you want? Hi.
Oh, he has big slipper feet.
You look so cute. Can you find your food? Hey. This is way more than I need for this little bucket. What I'll do though is I'll have like a starter bucket. I'll have a starter bucket, and then I can take a little bit of that juice and put it in another bucket, and I'll just keep taking from this bucket, and it'll keep doing good. But I need to go get the empty bucket, and I need to get the bag. And you can see now the girls are a little bit older, more used to the horses. The horses are really familiar with our routine. And I do let them go off on little things by themselves. Probably what I need to do is also bring out some spinach seeds in with the peas. Peas are a little bit more sensitive than spinach, but I do think I don't smell any ammonia, which is not good. We want ammonia. The other thing is, if when you're putting your rabbit manure tea onto your compost, it's cold, like freezing cold, it will cool your bed back down again. So I feel absolutely no warmth coming off of it, and I did take the cover off. I just kind of wanted to see what the difference would be. And what I see is that the peas that I did have previously sprouting, the ground, the box is now frozen because there isn't any bottom heat coming up. So far this method is a fail. One of the reasons it's a fail might be that I'm not here to watch it. If you're not on your homestead and able to check on things every couple hours, it's very difficult to homestead. It's why last year when we were in the little rental house, all we kept was chickens and rabbits. We had land available to us to go and keep goats and other animals on, but I wasn't sure that they would be safe. I just didn't know that they would be safe, especially with milk animals. You just really have to be vigilant. And so you're seeing now, this is the first compost pile in 6 years that has not worked. And I'm still checking on it every day. I'm just not checking on it to make sure that it's working regularly. And I don't really have the time. Come on. And I don't really have the time. Darn it, hold on a second. I don't really have the time to come out and double check that it's working. When it first starts up, you have to be paying attention to it to keep it going. And it only takes a couple hours to go from not working to working, but you kind of have to be present to monitor it. All right, so I still have no heat, which means A, I have too much carbon, or B, it's not big enough. So I'm gonna add some more horse manure, and then I'm gonna pour some rabbit manure tea on to get it started, and then I'll fill the bucket back up and soak the rabbit manure tea again. It works a lot better if you have something like a watering can, so you're kind of gradually adding the water, or the rabbit manure tea, so that it kind of trickles down instead of gushing down. So I may need to do something about that. Again, I always cover household waste with manure for the smell and also just so that it doesn't blow away. I do have peas sprouting, even though we have cold weather at night. They're sprouting, they're not necessarily taking off yet. It has been overcast and they are on the dark side of the building. So you have to take all that into account. You do want the best spot, the best materials, but sometimes it's just about playing with it and figuring out what works for your situation. Alright, this is what rabbit manure tea looks like. Most of it will stay in the bucket and I can reuse the manure over and over again. You're trying to, in essence, you're trying to fertilize the straw. You're trying to slightly dampen the straw with the rabbit manure tea. And if you just dump the whole bucket in, almost none of the straw gets wet. So, probably what I'll go do is get a pitcher or something so I can trickle it in and scoop it out. It's quite thick, and I want to make sure that it gets into the middle, because it's the middle that produces the most heat. The other thing I could do is I could take the top off and let the rain get in, which would also accelerate it. So I might actually do that. The only thing is there's deer around here and coyotes. So one of the reasons for the covers is to protect whatever's in here. But maybe I should take it off and let it rain on it a little bit. It would probably start up pretty quickly then. We went out and played in the wind yesterday. There was quite a windstorm for Tulsa. And Kaya feels like a different person today. I feel like a different person today. We have a lot more daily wind in Idaho than they do here. And it generally is just kind of muggy here. Yesterday there was a very drying wind, about 40 miles an hour, and we went out and we were out in the country and it was fantastic. We all feel just a little bit better. And the girls are getting their good ride in. And then we're gonna go home and have church.